What is up, guys? Welcome back to the shop. I know it's been a little while, but thank you for coming back. And if you have not subscribed already, please consider subscribing so you do get updates when I do finally post a video. Wanted to show you guys a couple new tools I got. So just the other day was kind of doing some errands up in the city and getting dinner with my girlfriend, and I was like, yeah, I want to stop at Home Depot and see if I can grab a new pair of pliers. So I actually was looking for new wire strippers, is what I told her, and I justified it by saying that I need them for work. So anyways, I have the 6-inch pair of these Milwaukee side cutters, or diagonal cutters, whatever you want to call them, and I really liked them. So I figured, oh, let's try out the 7-inch pair. I don't like these very much. They'll be very useful in some kit, but I don't like the arch to the handles. The other thing I really liked about the other pair that I have, the 6-inch pair, it would just fall open. And these have quite a bit of resistance. It's kind of hard to show on camera, but we call these sticky pliers. Last Best Tool hates sticky pliers, and so do I. They just do not come open easy, and I'm sure they'll break in. I literally just got them. I have not cut anything with them yet, but I don't like that. I like when they come nice and smooth. Nipex is really good about that. So is Weeha. I don't know if you guys have used much Weeha hand tools besides their screwdrivers, but they really are pretty good. But I don't like the curve of these handles. It's too exaggerated, and these tips come way too close together. I wish it just was a little less aggressive, and they'd be really nice. I kind of like this shape plier as opposed to like standard Kleins. These like heavy duty ones, these are great, don't get me wrong, and I use this style for work every day, but I like having this with a little bit of a narrower nose that can kind of reach into places. I do like those. They're not quite as high leverage, obviously, and I think that's probably what the design difference is. If you see how close the pivot point is to where it cuts, way less high leverage, but these still do a great job just cutting wire and stuff like that. So I will find a use for these. I'll put them in a kit somewhere, but second I opened the package, I was like, I'm bummed that that's not as loose as I would like it to be. I'm sure it'll get worn in, but so that's that. Stopped at Home Depot first and got those. That was over the weekend. The next stop we made was to actually find some wire strippers. I've been eyeing these Ideal reflex T-strippers for a really long time. This size here is the we'll just go stranded because that's mostly what I use. Stranded 10 to 18, which for me should have worked pretty well. I think what I really needed was more like a solid 10 to 18, and stranded 12 to 20 would be better, because I'm finding, let's see if I can, sorry, reaching across the camera. I'm finding that these do not strip 18 gauge all that great, and that's what I use all day long is 18.2, so, or 18.4, whatever it is, but 18 gauge 2 conductors typically. They cut really well. I don't think that they're much of an upgrade over something like these compact South wires, which these are used and old, and they still cut just as well. But like, I just find that it's easier to strip with these than something where my stripping end that I really need all the time is way out far. If I don't get this angled right, it's super difficult to get that off. I just find, I don't know, I really like the handle shape. I really wanted to love these. These are the ones that I use for work every day. These Kleins, I think they're the 1099s, 1079s maybe is what that says. It's kind of worn off, but I like these. I like the versatile hole sizes. There's quite a lot of them. Typically, like, we use really small MSTP backnet wire, and that would kind of fit inside those smaller holes, but I'm always using that 18 gauge hole. And then it's nice, it does have the crimp. The one thing that really drives me bonkers about these is that the cutting knives don't open up wider like these. You can just see how narrow that is. It's like just too small to get around a 4 conductor of 18 gauge. It's just like I can't quite get a good strip around it to pull the insulation off, which really bums me out. But I'm finding that these are getting a little worn out. They're just like that, kind of hard to strip with, and I don't like that. It's just, I wish it was easier. Sorry, kicking the camera there. But anyways, knives still work. You can see they're kind of dented up a little bit, but these are going to continue to be in my pocket. I also like how smooth these handles are. These are kind of nice because they're grippy, but I think if I was more of like a real electrician that was actually using strippers every day, these would be a good one, especially if I was doing more like primary electrical type stuff. A lot of 10, 12, and 14 gauge wire. These would be really nice. So these will probably find themselves into a electrical bag. Basically what I'm getting at here is that what ain't broke, don't fix it. So I'll keep rocking my Kleins that lose their grips, and yeah, maybe I'll just end up buying another pair of these. I do like that they have a nice grabber on the end. I just wish, so this kind of brings me to the last tool I just recently bought. I just wish that I had some kind of wire stripper that had a cutter on the end. Now I have a set of Klein anvil style cutters. They're like the crimp tool, like the standard crimp tool that has that cutter on the end. I don't want to call it a diagonal cutter because it's not. It's like one side is like like a wedge and the other side is just a flat anvil, so it kind of crushes wires when it cuts them. But I have those, and those have a stripper on this side of the pivot, so the handle side of the pivot, and that works great. And honestly, if those were smaller, they would be the tool I would use, and I could do away with the crimp part. I just want a cutter on the end, and I want a wire stripper. But they're just too long. They're almost as long as like a standard linesman's plier, and I can't just carry those around in my pocket all day. It's too annoying. So this kind of brings me to what I just recently bought, and I'm very excited about, and I wanted to give a try. So you guys can let me know what you think about these. These are the Icon flush cuts. So I stopped into Harbor Freight today, and you'll see a couple other things I bought. I'll show you real quick just at the end of the video. But to pick up these, actually I was not intending to pick these up. I just stopped to see what the pliers were and what they had and what's new. And these are the 6-inch flush cuts, and they didn't have any of the 8-inch ones. I think I might have seen a 7-inch pair, but I don't remember. But I was like, I want something small that I can just shove in my pocket. And what's really cool about these is how narrow that head is. So for me, and I was going to prepare a demonstration of this, and I didn't, and I apologize for that. I'm looking around now to find a zip tie. I can't even walk away because I got my mic all strapped up to my thing here. But anyways, we could just pretend we have a zip tie here. Sorry, guys. But basically, when I'm at work, I always end up having a bunch of wires. Let's picture these just like this, zip tied together. So there'd be a zip tie like this. Well, to get one of these big fat cutters into there and not nick one of the wires is kind of difficult, because just to cut that zip tie, then to be able to pull these apart. With something like this, these are like precision needle nose almost, and they can go right in and just snip stuff off, which is super cool, and I'm really excited about. They are rated to cut soft wire, which they do very well. They cut like butter. They're, you know, in my size hands, they look a little goofy. They're kind of small, but I think that this is something I can, you know, pocket carry. I find if I cut with the flush face facing away from me, that it doesn't really release the wires very well. It kind of, but it snaps them off the other way. It's kind of strange. See, they just went flying across the room. But anyways, these are basically a knockoff of the snap-ons. I think they're very similar. The only thing I would say about these is these are really sticky. They're in need of being broken in badly. And I have been doing this a lot today as I carried them around in my back pocket, trying to just get used to them, seeing if I liked them. The handles are super comfortable. You can tell they're kind of cheap. Like, I really like these handles, honestly. Not the shape of these, but the grips. I wish I could take those grips and stick them on here, but these are good. I mean, I really like them so far. I got to cut quite a few zip ties today. I know that's really exciting, but they seem sturdier than I imagined in videos. I would see people use these snap-on version of these in a video, and these didn't seem like, they seem kind of flimsy, and I was worried, I was going to break them. But for me, cutting copper wire and cutting zip ties, I think that these are going to hold up great. I don't know. You guys have to let me know what you think down in the comments. But Icon, plastic and soft wire only flush cuts. So these three, the new tools, just something fun to add in, spend a little money, and put some more stuff in the toolbox, tool bags. So I also picked up today just a couple other things I'll just show off real quick. I picked up 5 of these at Harbor Freight. And if you've been on YouTube and looked up storage, you know what these are all about. They got 20 little bins, which are pretty cool. They're removable. This was $10 for this one case, so I bought 5 of these, and I bought 2 just because I wasn't quite sure how I was going to use them, of these bigger ones. And I just have like a lot of little parts and things that I would like to get organized. So I have, if you guys remember from the video before, I have the pack out boxes. I got a bunch of those organizers, and I'm going to get those all properly set up. Right now they're just stacked on top of each other, but I would like to do a system where there's shelves so I could easily slide them in and out versus having to take like 3 boxes off the top of the other one. And I'm going to do the same with this. So I'm going to do some kind of tower that has shelves, and you just kind of slide these in and out, and they're all nicely labeled and you can see what's in them. But I got these big ones too. I think I'm going to use one of these for like a first aid kit. I have a pretty extensive gear room in part of the shop that's like all hiking and backpacking and water sports and all that kind of gear, outdoor gear, exercise stuff. So I'd like to get like a proper first aid kit put in there. Is this stuck closed? I'm not quite sure what's happening here. Oh, there we go. And I'll probably do like gauze and, I don't know, antiseptic and whatever other stuff, Neosporin and painkillers. Just have like a kit out in the gear room that I could grab with me to go somewhere if I knew I was going to be doing it, or just to restock stuff. It'd just be a good organized way to do that. So I picked up a couple of those for that reason. Because I don't really need the bigger ones so much because I do have all that pack out stuff. But this will be good for O-rings and different size heat shrink and just a bunch of stuff that I have that just needs to get organized. I'm just so tired of coming out in the shop and feeling overwhelmed with stuff everywhere. So picked up a bunch of those, and you might have just saw it when I was showing. A couple of these were on clearance, so I picked these up. They're just standard, just a single tube, LED tube. I have 2 out in my lean-to section, the non-insulated part of my shop. And they're really bright and they work well. I just, plug them in, and I put like light switches on outlets up in the rafters. So I just plug these into those switches or into those receptacles, flip the switch on, and they get light out there. So I think what I'm going to do with these is hang them above the 2 main workbenches here. It'll make things look a little cleaner, and it'll give me really nice light down on the table. It'll kind of help with these videos get a little better light. So got these on clearance. They were like $7 or $8 off, which is pretty sweet. Super excited about that. So let's try to get the videos going up again. I'm going to do my best here, so bear with me. I'd really like to do a video on how to unstick pliers, but I don't really know. All I ever do is just squirt them with WD-40 and Ballistol and just hope for the best and keep using them until they wear in. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you guys in the next video.